up, guys? Welcome back to WCS America. You're watching match 2 of the night. It's Neeb versus Maker, trying to find out who's going to play Tasia in the winner's match. Neeb playing a pretty solid game 1.
Very solid there. Spectacular defense, great control of the benches on the offense.
Yeah.
You know, I was a little worried.
Why?
Because he only had 6 Marines in a tank, and there was 4 Hellbats and 4 Hellions.
4 Hellbats and 4 Hellions should probably beat that, yeah.
But what happened is, Maker lost one of the medevacs to a turret, or almost lost. He took like 6 hits.
Yeah, he was down to like 20 HP.
And then he had all his units attack a depot while they were being shot.
Time is so important.
It is.
Like, it's the difference between like another unit coming out of one of the production facilities of your opponent. So, and again, you're investing so much into it.
It is. And with those units, they're all super high damage low life units. Like, Hellbat's 2-shot Marines, and Marines do insane damage output. So anytime you waste attacking a building, versus Hellions can erase Marines super quick if you can just deploy them. It's all about being super fast at getting units into action there, and Neeb just did a better job of controlling his units.
All right, let's see what happens in game number 2. It's going to be on Belshire Vestige. In the bottom right-hand location, I present to you your Red Terran player from Team FXO North America. He's currently up 1-0. He's 1 away from advancing to the winner's match to play Tasia. He is Neeb. Going for the Banshee play in game 1. It definitely worked out for him. His opponent in the top left, representing Chaos Latin Gamers, finds himself down 0-1 in this series. Must win 2 in a row here to advance on to play Tasia. Going for Hellbats in game 1. Didn't quite work out. Let's see how he adjusts in game number 2. He is Maker.
Neither player going gas first this time.
Interesting. And I feel like this map would be a little bit better than Whirlwind for gas first.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the... I mean, one thing is you can't scout your opponent as fast on Whirlwind, so it's easier to get away with the 1 base build. In TVT, if you do, let's say, a Reactor Barracks expansion, you know your opponent's going 1 base, you can just play super defensively, right? You can know to get the eBay early, get the missile turret, get Widow Mines.
Sure.
Whereas if you don't know what they're doing, you might not want to get the E-base early. You'd rather get something aggressive of your own, so you can put on some pressure of your own. So being in the dark is a very big deal in TVT.
Are you afraid of the dark, Nick?
I am.
Really?
If there's Terrans out there, yes.
I'm talking about real life,
Oh,
man.
no.
You're not afraid of the dark?
No.
You've never had that moment where it's like completely pitch black and you're like walking upstairs and something's following you. You can't quite place it, but you know something's following.
I'm not worried about zombies.
No, I didn't say zombies, man. There's many.
You were thinking it. You were thinking it.
That's part of, I respect that suggestion, but I'm talking about those invisible powers that you know are following you up the stairs when you're walking up at 2 a.m. in the morning and it's dark. You tell me you're not scared in that situation.
Most of the time, no.
And wow, okay.
No, I gotta be.
I'm glad you're my roommate.
If the lights go out, I'll protect you. Don't worry, I got your back.
Thank you, Nick.
I got your back.
I really appreciate that. All right. So the point is, in StarCraft 2, you don't want to be in the dark.
Exactly. And if you're both in the light, if you both know what each other's doing,
yes.
The more macro-focused builds are almost always the better ones, because there is that rally difference across the map. So if you can identify your opponent's going 1 base and you're going macro, you can usually defend and have an advantage. But like we see here, Neeb doesn't know exactly what Maker's doing. Right. Marcus gave us a view there. He wasn't able to really get up the ramp and see anything. So Neeb is in the dark, and Neeb is the one doing the more macro-focused build, the faster expansion, and he really wants to know, is my opponent macroing? If he is, I want to focus on production, on upgrades, and maybe putting on some harass. But if I invest in my own harassing units, my production upgrades, if my opponent goes for 1 base, he could hit me while I'm trying to produce all this stuff, and if I don't have appropriate defenses, I'll be in trouble. So it's very important for Neeb to identify if he needs to get the eBay, if he needs to get a turret, if he should get Hellions to get map vision and harass, should he get Widow Mines to defend.
Yeah, and that's what I love about being a caster. Like, we're never in the dark. That's why
much easier.
I know it is. Like it's always light. Of course, Marcus, our observer, scares me a little bit when he makes the screen dark when he goes to a vision. I get a little bit of fright, but
you can imagine what it's like to be that player.
Yeah.
What's really interesting from Maker is he's getting a Raven first. So he's playing a 1 base build, but he's not going for fast harass units.
Huh.
What he's going for, it looks like to be a heavy 1 base push, a siege tank, Raven, Marine push. And I've seen this push a couple times.
And Raven start with Thunder Seeker now.
Exactly, and one of the ideas is if you save up enough energy on the Raven to get 200 Seekers, even if your opponent has a tank, you can kill the tank. It's all scanned though.
That's a really good scan.
It is, oh, even sees a Raven coming out. That's huge. And he has to expand now. So,
Does
he
just not push now? I mean, reaction from Neeb obviously would be probably defensive tank.
Exactly.
Automatically. Because whenever you're being attacked, tank is always a good thing to have.
And he's going for the tech lab on the barracks. We're going to see that defensive tank.
And the tanks start with siege window.
Yeah. This is not a situation. What Maker wanted to do is he wanted to go ahead, get a Banshee and get some Vikings and go attack. But you notice he actually delayed the Viking, he delayed the Marine production, they did a second tank to get that command center because he's realized I can't depend on doing damage on the attack. Now, he's going to be a little bit behind economically, but he still could threaten to attack. And he still has the Raven, which as it builds energy, could be a game changer if he can get out some massive Hunter Sequence or something. But overall, this...
little bit of an advantage for Neeb as far as the economy is concerned. And of course, knowing exactly what your opponent is doing, it's a little bit deflating too. When you're going for this one base push and then you get scanned, how does that, mentally affect the player? We don't know. Maker's down 0-1, you can scan when you're trying to go for this strategy, and you all of a sudden got to change your game plan. You had a game plan from the beginning, and now it has to change. So we'll have to see how Maker adjusts here. The best player will be able to adjust. The best players will be able to adjust seamlessly and efficiently. And from here, this can go either way, because both these guys getting expansions, something we didn't necessarily see in the last game.
And both players are going for buyout. They're both getting upgrades. Neeb is getting a second engineering base, so he might be able to develop a slight upgrade advantage. Of course, Neeb is also up by a few workers from having that command center a little bit earlier. Nice little Widow Mine there. That's actually
I like it.
A really great spot.
But the Raven can see it.
I mean, this is true, but if the Raven's... if it's not...
We're going to find out.
Yeah, it might get hit off anyway, just because Marines actually have the same range as the Widow Mine. If you're not super careful, it will get that attack, and it's a good scouting utensil. And what if the Raven's not with the army, right? The giant Widow Mines are so cheap, why not just throw them out there?
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh, I've seen a scan from one of the players. Okay, it looks like Maker's going to be scanning.
He wants to see...
Both these guys scanning.
Identifying exactly. The important thing is they both identified each other is going bio, which is always useful to know, because okay, he's going to have some Marines at his disposal.
Yep.
That's something to watch out for.
All right. So, let's see what happens here. Marine tank
sculling around.
Probably going to be the composition choice for both these two guys. Positioning is going to be very important.
Is this Widow Mine going to go to the third, or is it going to go to the high ground and check out the other walking path across the map?
Just right there.
Okay. So the way he's placing Widow Mines, both of them are on the two main exits from the base. So he can see when Maker moves out, and that's always useful. I mean, even if the Raven kills a Widow Mine, it's a nice, cheap little scout there. Zerg players put speedings around the map to keep track of things. Terran can do his Widow Mines. A little more expensive than a speeding, but it can kill units easier, and it's invisible.
Neeb immediately taking a third base, and
Armory.
now, Widow Mine.
Oh, that's pretty nice. That tank will be very vulnerable now, and there's actually no medevacs with this force, is there?
I don't think so.
So
I don't see
all those Marines, those 4 Marines, are going to be in
limping
pain.
across.
And the mine didn't die, so it's still there for the next attack.
Now I'm wondering if there are any more Widow Mines in the vicinity here.
He's got to be so careful.
Maker's got to be really aware of that.
That's a Marine
leading with the Raven.
Very smart to leave with the Raven after he just took a big hit.
Yes.
And Neeb knows he's out here. There's no way Maker can force himself up this
correct
up this ramp. In fact,
might
Neeb's
try to Seeker here.
Oh, he could.
Oh,
he does it. 2 on the same tank.
The tanks.
That tank's gonna get blown up. Oh, a couple Marines get hit as well, and the splash damage.
Vikings trying to take down that Raven, trying to keep that guy away. Maker with a decent position here, going to load up some units and drop on the high ground. Again, trying to isolate his opponent's production from his army. If you can do that, you can cut off reinforcements. The Marines dipping forward there from Neeb, taking a lot of tank shots.
Yeah, they are. He was able to take out the medevac, but he's been losing. Oh, you know what? Those tanks can actually just barely reach the bottom of the ramp.
Yeah.
What Neeb needs to do is he needs to push all the vision back. So move a tank up to kill the Marines, and then get a Viking. Oh, Raven gets taken out.
Ooh, it's a pretty big deal. Medevac providing that range. Marines actually going to be picked up.
Yeah, he's got to save those. Neeb's now getting
This
tanks.
is where you need a Viking to take some shots at that medevac.
Neeb's just bleeding away a lot of units. Look at this. He's actually losing control. So many Marines are just being blown to pieces. He started with an economic advantage, but he's lost so many Marines now.
Now, he does have a third, which is important to note. He's going to have a better ability to reinforce.
And he's got 1-1 upgrades versus 1-0. And he has the ability to start 2-2 because his armor's already done.
But even so, you don't want to be throwing away units as much as he has been.
Oh, some more Marines here. And in fact, he's going to lose a tank as well.
He's got to be careful.
And now his tanks are exposed. Marines can drop right on top of these.
Oh,
This tank's going to go down, and that might leave a vulnerability where Major can start crawling up.
Yeah.
Oh, another tank rally almost gets taken out as well.
Neeb, keep your units in your main until you figure this out. That's my suggestion.
He's starting 2-2, so macro-wise, he's ahead. He's just got to stabilize. Oh, no, if he loses another tank here. Okay, that actually went pretty well for him.
Repairing the tank. One Marine.
Yeah, he took out the medevac.
Oh,
but
here he comes. Marine's going to be charging up toward the natural expansion, all going kablooey. Oh, Marine's trying to stim down, trying to reinforce. There's a scan, and he's going to try to drop on these tanks.
Because Maker sent all his Marines out, so the tanks are exposed. This is going to turn everything around.
Oh,
Everything he gained is just thrown away now, losing these 4 tanks.
Tanks are so important, so much investment represented there, and of course, the meat of your army is pretty much in those tanks. Now, thankfully, he has a nice reinforcements behind this, but again, imagine if those tanks are included in this army.
Oh, no. I mean, only killed 1 Marine, but the rest are in pain.
And probably emotionally scarred for life.
You know, this is it started out great for Neeb.
Yes.
Then it went great for Maker. Maker.
Yes.
He got so many free kills. And then Maker, for some reason, abandoned the tanks. He sent his Marine squad forward. And then he lost to 4 tanks, and 4 tanks is huge. And now it's back in Neeb's favor. Neeb with a small supply advantage, and importantly,
Welcome
his
to
2-2.
Welcome to TVT. Go ahead, though. Sorry.
Oh, another Widow Mine hits.
So 2-2, yeah, 2-2 is...
Oh, and he's stimming. He's moving up here right now.
Medevacs.
Oh, he's got it back.
But yeah, 2-2 is almost done.
And those Marines are never going to be healed now. Well, until more medevacs come.
Yes, needs more medevacs. Needs those reinforcements. Maker going to try to figure out something. Neeb up in supply. That 145, 135 has that third base on the ground. It's been there for a while. Mining. He has great economy, which means he has great reinforcement potential, which means he can trade a little bit less effectively than Maker and still be all right in this game. But Maker going to change that pretty soon, sending his own command center to its third base.
You know, I really love all these Widow Mines around the map. I think there was another Widow Mine to third looking at those Marines.
It's like Minesweeper. Have you heard of that game?
I have heard of that game.
Okay. And you know, you don't know about Pokemon, so I gotta ask these questions, Nick. It's not anything personal.
No, I do know Minesweeper. My brother used to play a lot of Minesweeper, so that's how I know. But it is. I mean, Minesweeper is a game that takes a lot of focus and concentration. So
I just randomly click all the buttons.
Well.
And I eventually hit a mine, and I feel very sad. I never really understood how the game worked.
I mean, and Maker's a situation where he has to deal with that WoW playing a game of StarCraft at the same time.
Crazy.
Not easy. Oh, nice little drop here. And a 2-2 upgrades. Look at that. They mow down the Marines like butter.
Wow.
In fact, there's no combat shield for Maker either.
AK-47s versus handguns. It's 2-2 versus 1-1. Is that a good comparison?
It is. And it's AK-47s with a shield, too. They've got the combat shields.
Oh. Do these Marines not have combat shields?
No, they don't. He's researching right now.
Oh, Maker.
So cost-efficient by Neeb with these. Look, he's 200 feet versus 140. I mean, there's enough Marines, of course, they're good.
But now he knows his opponent's army is over there, so he can kind of keep repositioning his main army. Neeb extending across. He's maxed. Guys, he's maxed. He's taking a 4th base. Neeb is on fire. Charging straight into his opponent's natural expansion, sieging up the tanks. The Marines charging up the rim. Very technical situation here.
Oh, but he can. Wait, the tank. Yeah, exactly. The tanks can cut off the units. He's going to drop the Marines here.
Oh, perfect. He's doing what Maker did. Guess what? You're in the production.
Oh, man. How is Maker going to defend his main? He's trying to get his tanks up.
GG. Yeah. It's not possible. Once you get that position. Again, this applies to like every matchup as far as Terran is concerned. If you get in the production of a Terran and your production is unscathed, that's where the units come from. It's not like they can warp their units somewhere else, right? It's not like they can make a bunch of units at one side of their hatcheries. They're restricted to, you know, those production facilities. So pretty cool play there from me, but very back and forth game.
It was. I mean, Neeb had a more solid build at the opening.
Yeah.
But then he was pretty sloppy in his rally point. He lost so many Marines. But then Maker he left his tanks open. The Marines were like, you know what? Let's go in, boys. And they died. And tanks are like, where's their anti-air? Medevac drop. And I mean, it's just a crazy back and forth game there.
Yeah.
But really, you know, they both made some control mistakes, so blade away units. And so that almost equalized out. But then the bottom line was Neeb. Faster natural. Faster third. Faster upgrades. just macroed ahead of Maker throughout that game.
Yeah, just a great play there from Neeb. Had a solid game plan throughout Maker. At first, it looked like he was getting in the middle of it, but Neeb able to make it work. He takes the 2-0 over Maker, meaning Neeb is going to be advancing to the winner's match to play Tasia. So, guys, coming up next, we've got a best of 3 to decide who's going to be the first to advance from Group G, say that 10 times fast, to WCS America Premier League Season 2. Game 1 between Neeb versus Tasia coming up.